Hi, this is Frederick from Avassa. In this video, I will show how you can build and deploy a machine learning serving container using Avassa. We're going to start here in the control tower where I've defined a visitor counter application. This application consists of two services. The visitor counter container actually contains an HTTP server, which I will use in the demo later, where you can upload an image. The second container is the TensorFlow serving container. So this container actually contains both TensorFlow serving and the machine learning model. So let me show you how that container is built. You can find this Docker file on Avassa Public Movie Theaters demo in the Docker file called Dockerfile ML. So as you can see, I'm cheating a bit here. I'm actually downloading a pre-trained model from TF Hub. In the real world, you would have a trained model somewhere, maybe in the Git repo or maybe somewhere else. But the Docker build here would get that model and store it locally. So in this case, I'm downloading the model and unzipping it. Then as the last layer or the final layer of this container, I'm copying into the TensorFlow serving container from Docker Hub. I'm copying the model and store that model in this location. Then I'm setting this environment model to tell TensorFlow serving which model to serve by default. So in this case, I'm calling this one ResNet. So this, once it's built, that's going to end up being this particular container on GitLab. And here you can see I'm running it on two sites. In the real world, it's as easy to deploy this to 10 or 100 or thousands of sites. The last thing I want to show is this one. So the visitor counter front-end container, if I may call it so, exposes itself on port 10,000. So here I've actually browsed to that particular instance on port 10,000. As you can see, I have a very simple UI here, but this allows me to upload a file. So I will choose a file with a photo of people at Avassa, and I'll click submit here. So what happens now is the image is uploaded. The visitor counter container takes that image and converts it into a format that TensorFlow recognizes and sends that image to TensorFlow. And what we get back is a number of bounding boxes where TensorFlow has detected people. And what the front-end container does then is it takes those bounding boxes and draws them as an overlay on this image. And this is the result of that. So here you can see all the bounding boxes where TensorFlow thinks there is a person in this image. Then let's say we want to upgrade this container. If we had a new version of the model, I would go to my visitor counter container. I would update the version here. And I would choose a different version of my model container or my serving container. In the real world, this would contain a new version of the image. So I'm going to click update here. And as you can see, I'm downloading the new image, version 2.0. And then I've actually instructed the system to immediately update. So now you can see that I'm running version 1.1. Again, in the real world, you would probably deploy this using Canary to a certain amount of sites and make sure everything is good before you roll it out. But I hope you get the gist of packaging your machine learning models into versioned containers and then use Avassa to push new versions of those containers out to all of your locations. Thank you very much.